The Indian Ministry of Defense (MOD) has stated that 4 Krivak-III class frigates the Indian Navy is buying from Russia will be armed with the BrahMos anti-ship cruise missile. This decision will make them the world's most heavily armed 4,000-ton warships. The MOT's apex procurement body, the Defense Acquisition Council, approved the procurement of BrahMos missile systems for the first 2 Krivak-III frigates. These vessels, also designated Project 1135.6, will be almost fully built in Yantar Shipyard in Russia. India will procure 4 of these, and the 3rd and 4th frigates will be built at the Goa Shipyard under a transfer of technology agreement. An MOD release stated, the DAC granted approval of procurement for indigenous BrahMos missile for 2 Indian Navy ships to be built in Russia. The indigenously designed BrahMos missile is a tested and proven supersonic cruise missile and will form the primary weapon on board these ships. MOD stated that the Cabinet Committee on Security had approved the procurement of 4 frigates in October 2018. The price of the 2 ready-built frigates has been agreed, and arrangements for building the next 2 in Goa are currently being negotiated. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why the Russian-made Indian Krivak-III class will be the world's most heavily armed frigates in the world. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. Krivak-class frigates have a length of 124.8 meters, that's 409 feet 5 inches, and displaces 4,035 tons when fully loaded. The warships of this class have a speed of 32 knots, that's 59 kilometers per hour or 37 miles per hour, and a range of 4,850 miles or around 7,800 kilometers. The Krivak was designed by the Severnaya Design Bureau. The topside and hull sections were redesigned to reduce radar cross-section, electromagnetic acoustic, and infrared signatures. The hull features an outward flare, and the superstructure features a tumble-home angle. The design also incorporates stealth technologies. These frigates are the Indian Navy's workhorses and are capable of engaging targets in all 4 dimensions: underwater, on the surface, inland, and in the air. India already operates 6 Krivak-class frigates, called the TALWAR class after the lead vessel. The first 3 frigates, INS TALWAR, INS Trishul, and INS Tabar, were commissioned between June 2003 and April 2004. These were armed with the Russian 3M-54E Club N anti-ship missiles. 3M-54E Club N is a sea skimmer with supersonic terminal speed and a flight altitude of 15 feet. That's 4.6 meters at its final stage, when it has a speed of Mach 2.9. It has a range of 220 kilometers or 140 miles. The next 3, INS Teg, INS Tarkash, and INS Trikand, which were commissioned between April 2012 and June 2013, carried the BrahMos. With the remaining 4 also to be armed with BrahMos, India will have 7 frigates that will be armed with this deadly missile. The BrahMos systems approved for the 2 ships include the VLS vertical launch system and missiles on board. The cost is estimated to be $350 million for the 2 ships. Russian sources indicate that the deal for the 2 ready-built Project 1135.6 frigates at around $1 billion. That means each warship's BrahMos arsenal will amount to about a quarter of the cost of the warship. This probably makes it the world's most expensive anti-ship missile arsenal. Apart from these, the ship are also equipped with Shtil-1 medium-range surface-to-air missile system. The system uses SAN-12 and a total of 24 missiles are accommodated in a magazine located below deck. The SAN-12s have a range of 45 kilometers or 28 miles and use inertial guidance and semi-active radar homing. The vessel's main gun is a forward-fitted AK-190. It has a firing rate of 60 rounds a minute and can engage targets within a range of 15.2 kilometers or around 9.5 miles. The TALWAR is also fitted with 2 Kashtan air defense close-in weapon systems. Each system includes 2 GSH-30K 30mm Gatling guns and 2 SAN-11 surface-to-air missile clusters. The frigate is fitted with 2 twin 533mm DTA-53 11356 fixed torpedo tube launchers, firing SET-65E and 53-65KE torpedoes. A 12-barrel RBU-6000 anti-submarine warfare rocket can fire 212mm 90R ASW rocket or RGB-60 depth charges. The BrahMos cruise missile is produced by India-based BrahMos Aerospace, set up in 1998, and is a joint venture between India's Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) and Russia's NPO Mashinostroyenia. BrahMos weighs in at 3,000 kilograms or 6,600 pounds, has a length of 8.4 meters and a diameter of 0.6 meters. It has a solid fuel rocket booster for the first stage and liquid-fueled ramjet for the second stage. Ramjet engine can power flight to sustained supersonic speeds. It has no moving parts like the compressors and turbines used in turbofan engines found on conventional jet planes. They rely on huge pressures created by fast airflow into the engine to ignite the fuel and generate thrust. BrahMos can be launched from aircraft, land installations, and warships. It's being tested for induction into submarines also. A hypersonic version of the missile, BrahMos 2, is also presently under development with a speed of Mach 7 to 8 to boost aerial fast strike capability. It's expected to be ready for testing by 2020. BrahMos present a challenge to any surface ship. The reason is its unique features. 1. It has a supersonic speed of Mach 3 or 1 kilometer per second, providing very little time to intercept. 2. BrahMos uses a 300 kilogram or 660 pounds semi-armor piercing warhead and also has very high kinetic energy since kinetic energy is directly proportional to the square of velocity. BrahMos actually has about 9 times the kinetic energy of conventional subsonic missiles like Tomahawk. The combined destructive force of massive warhead and kinetic energy is lethal for even the biggest surface warships and bunkers. BrahMos has been known to break ships in half in several tests. 3. It can perform S maneuvers in the final stages of flight. The missile basically doesn't move in a straight line, making it very hard to intercept. 4. There are lots of redundancies in the guidance system, right from the INS, GPS, GLONASS, and GAGN, making it hard to jam. 5. The accuracy of around 1 square meter makes it apt for a precision strike on high-value targets. TALWAR class is clearly very heavily armed, but its jewel is the BrahMos. The best defense against the BrahMos missile is to destroy the launch platforms before the missile could be fired. Once the BrahMos gets launched successfully, it's a totally different ballgame. Even the US Navy will find it very difficult to defend against a barrage of BrahMos. This basically means that India will have 4 new warships that are relatively small in size but having the capacity to take out much larger warships. This is especially handy when dealing with the ever-growing Chinese Navy. It is to be noted that BrahMos also equips the Indian Navy's 3 Kolkata class and 4 Visakhapatnam class destroyers, and will also equip the 7 Project 17A frigates that will shortly enter production. It can be said that with the induction of the new warships, the Indian Navy will get a significant boost when it comes to firepower.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.